Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the Harlem Shake video I put up a week ago or so, and the second one that I did that I haven't put up, but I'm going to attach it to the end of this one. So let's do the thing and then on. So a lot of people have seen a lot of different Harlem Shake videos. It's a pretty popular meme going around. Basically a bunch of people with a 30-second music clip. Starts out pretty normal and then goes into a slightly insane mode. For mine, I went a very different route. I just kept the dancing and kind of the outrageous, whatever outrageous clothes I could put on. Lots of colors, basically. But I wasn't really happy with the video, and so I'm going to take you through a couple of things and talk about how I did it, how I put the video together, what the idea was behind it, and what I did when I went through and remixed it. Yeah, so I'm going to cut to the computer display and we'll shoot the rest of this video via Camtasia. Yay! Alright, so here we have the original video. Let me scroll through, well, pop through this a little bit. Alright, so I have me dancing. I have my Jane hat. From those of you who are Firefly fans will recognize it. Sorry about the change in audio. I have a cold now. So I basically went through my wardrobe and found the majority of the colorful stuff that I could find. So the Jane hat was of course a given. I found some shades and my Under Armour shirt and jacket, which I probably ought not wear in public, but you know, whatever. So rolling through, da da da, boogie 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 boogie, and then the break for the song hits about there, and then this is the part that I really wanted to talk about. So you can really see it as I pop in these clones, right? So the main thing that I did it okay. I was using Premiere Pro to try to mask these out, and the problem with Premiere Pro is it's fine for some basic masking. As long as the masks aren't moving all that much, it works fine. So the problem with this is these characters are going to overlap, and so it's a really intensive set of masking. Basically you have to rotoscope around each one, and you can see I shot this all with the same camera from the same position. I didn't move the camera at all, but because it took a little time between each one, the shadows ended up being different. I was kind of hoping that they wouldn't, but you can see the shadows around here, around here. This one is particularly bad, and this, and then you can see a little haze through here, and as it moves along. So the timing on this, the way I did it was in my pocket, in my sweatshirt pocket for the zombies, the Oni. I have my iPod that is playing a count for this, and I'm using the count as a sync point, and I'm synced off of the bottom guy here. When his face thing, when the paper plate comes up for the face, I put that and synced all the rest of them to that, because I knew in the count the rest of the motions would be mostly synced, although I was an idiot on this one and didn't quite get him right. But it was, the idea was supposed to be, you know, the demons come, I'm going to get them where you can really see the mask on this. So tough. Yuck. Okay. But as I move through, you can see, particularly when the masks move, if you take a look at the hat is really bad. This, I believe, is simply a limitation of having to go frame by frame in Premiere Pro. I don't know how to do this in motion. I missed a foot. Look at that. Yuck. I wanted to do it in motion, but motion wasn't behaving, and you couldn't move the frame or the masks. And I hadn't thought to go through and do After Effects because I didn't really want to do it that way at the time. I was running out of time. I wanted to get this up before everybody else. And then Adi put his video up, and I was like, oh man, I got to get this done today. And then it slipped a day, and so very frustrating. But this, for what it was, this turned out okay. It's terrible. You can see how I didn't get the mask very tight in here. But the problem is I had to go frame by frame to correct, to get the mask in. And I'd thought that having a loose frame on it, like you can see here, and popping it out here, for some reason, I don't know why this is going on. But Premiere Pro was not very happy with that many masks on the screen at the same time. And it turned out fine for what it was. I did a little slow motion on the zombies here just before it stopped. And it was fun. I mean, it was fun to do, and it was fun to, kind of get my feet back in the mess, as it were. But let me take this down a little bit. And so, because I wasn't as happy with that one as I wanted to be, I went through and pulled out the After Effects like I should have done in the first place, because the rotoscoping of masks in After Effects is much more powerful, much easier, and it doesn't freak out the same way that Premiere Pro did. And I tried to do it in Final Cut Express, or Final Cut Pro X, and it was just not happy. So this is basically, it's the same video, starting the same way, starting the same way and everything, but once the demons come in, you can see that After Effects has a much nicer feather on this. These aren't feathered at all, and that's why the edges of the masks are so sharp. There's no feather that I could put on it, or that I was aware of to put on it at the time. So see, now the problem with this one is the timing, but I was much happier with the special effects. Look at the hat as it goes in front of, as it goes in front of the foot. You can see it's much tighter, and because of the feather, I was able, it makes it a little smoother by being able to put those in between. And I had a nice little smoke on that one. So you can see it here. Pop back in. Right here, it's much sharper. I mean, the edge looks much better because it was able to feather between the shoe and the sleeve. And you can see that the hat is much sharper here. There's a little halo, but not horribly bad. It's certainly acceptable for me and for a little video that's, whatever. Now the amount of time difference was actually, they both took about the same amount of time, because After Effects is just much better at doing these kinds of things. So these two characters also overlap, and it was a lot of time to get them to separate and figure out which character was going to be on top and which character was going to be on the bottom, and the easiest way to rotoscope this out. But each of these are a separate shot, and you can see the timing is not as good on this one, but let me see if I can get the smoke to work. And at the very end, a little slow motion for me, and poof. I wanted to have that in, but I was so tired of fighting with it on the other one that it wasn't really worthwhile. So you can see, and then I basically faded it up. The smoke is an asset from Action Essentials 2 by Video Copilot. At the end of this one, it just stops, and yeah, so that one just stops. But the other, I think the smoke adds a lot to it, and I think it's not a bad way to go. Oh, come on. All right. 8 seconds. So this is a playback hesitation. I'm not entirely sure why. It's not actually supposed to be in slow motion. That's the other reason why I haven't put this one up that way. Poof. Yep. But anyway, it was a lot of fun to do. The smoke is a powder hit from Action Essentials 2. The song is by Bauer, and all of that stuff. But it was it was a lot of fun to do, and yeah, that's it. That's how I put it together. There's a lot of stuff going around about, you know, the Harlem Shake stuff, and people are tired of it and that. But if you want to do the video, I think it's worthwhile doing. I mean, it's a lot of fun. The copyright issues on it, nobody's hitting anybody really hard on it, which is good. At least Bauer didn't start trying to take these down yet. But it's a lot of fun, and I don't think you should do it to be on the Harlem Shake train. But if you want to have some fun with some friends, and it's a pretty easy video to do as long as you don't try to do it like this. This was just way too much work, probably 20 hours per on each of these. So the rotoscoping wasn't worthwhile, but you can see the second version turned out much nicer. So if you want to do it, do it. I think it's a fun thing to do, and I think that you'll have a good time doing it. And if you do it something simple with a lot of people, that's great. I just couldn't put the number of people that I wanted to put together for it in any place that I wanted to take the video at the time, so I did it this way. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and there's that.